So let me know when we go live. I just
Live.
all right.
We are back in the building.
Sir, yes, sir.
The P1 Reality Check podcast. I am your boy, your man, Mark Fresh.
I am true speaker, love ambassador here at P1 headquarters, Lee Williams. P1, what's good? NC in the building.
Go. Yeah, we a little bit light today.
Yeah.
Crew took the night off.
Shout out to the whole crew.
Things working, creating, out there doing big things. So, shout out to them.
Yes, sir.
Believe we are in the house to talk about some things that are going on with the world.
Yep.
As always, we are here.
Yep.
But like we traditionally do, we start off with what's good.
What's good? Am I go first. Yesterday we got to go to the studio with the Young Kings. And we got 3 songs done. We got to do some audio for some nonprofit stuff. It was just a awesome time. The energy was great every time we with them. It's like watching them grow and build and gain more skill and just be more comfortable in the studio. I mean, the fact that they're only 12, 13, 14 years old is, I'm so ecstatic about the direction that they're going and just gaining something that they can master that will build the self-confidence, self-awareness, self-worth, and all the other aspects of their lives.
No doubt. Yeah, man. I mean, it's definitely dope.
Yeah.
Seeing them grow and seeing them grow within our program and the things that they've been able to accomplish today from where they started. So that's awesome. And speaking to that, my what's good is we got a massive, massive donation from one of our big donors for our nonprofit. And
Yep.
I mean, this type of funding is something that can really help us sustain, keep our program going, keep things moving forward. So we're just really, really excited about that donation and about what that's going to do for us. So for me, that when I got that news, I was just elated. Like, man,
Yeah.
wow,
That was
couldn't have come at a better time.
amazing. That was just amazing.
Not have come at a better time. So,
yeah,
when I think of things like that and just so appreciative, to be able to receive, that type of donation for our nonprofit and what it's going to do for these OMG young gods.
Yeah, shout out to
all the other young men that we continue to mentor, and
shout out to all the people who donate. Shout out to my sister, who made a good donation to my Genius campaign. Shout out to my dad and my stepmom. They really became the first, true annual donors. So they don't have monthly donations. So shout out to you guys. You guys don't know how much that helps, and we're just gonna keep it moving here. One kid at a time.
Yep, absolutely. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So yeah. So we doing big things, man. So that again, that feels good. That feels really, really
man.
good.
It was great.
Yes. Well, we come to the point in the show where normally Lady Maya takes over.
Mm-hmm.
She does her thing, so I'm gonna do my best to fill in for Lady Maya.
Maya here.
Talk about some things that are going on out here in the streets.
Right.
So recently, Lee, Doja Cat, the recording artist, who I'm not personally extremely familiar with her catalog, her music.
She knew?
She's been out for some years. I mean, I know her visually, but musically, I'm just, I know she's got some popular songs out there, but it's just.
What songs did she have? I have no idea. I ain't never heard of her before.
I can't. I probably should have Googled it since we were talking about it. I just, I try to keep it as real as possible. And I don't like the fun, but people know the name. She's a recording artist. Okay. She's definitely popular. She's won a Grammy.
She won a Grammy? Oh, she big time.
Yeah, I believe she's won a Grammy.
Oh wow.
Well, that's all. I'm not even.
Yeah, is she black?
But yeah. So it's debatable.
Oh,
I believe she's mixed.
Oh, okay.
I believe she's mixed. But whatever. Yeah. I believe she's mixed with something. I'm not exactly sure what it is. But at any rate, this young lady, and she's, Doja Cat's got to be like 20, somewhere in her mid-20s, I believe. And, she made the decision to DM this young guy named Noah Schnapp, who is an actor on Stranger Things.
That's a show. I don't even know that show.
Right, but people talk about it's pretty popular. I have never watched it, but I've I think even some of the crew has watched Stranger Things. I've heard them talking about it.
Okay.
So she DM'd this cat asking, could he hook her up with one of his co-hosts, this other guy. So she puts his DM out there, and he in turn puts her DM out to the world. Oh, wow. And lets the world know that she was interested in this co-host of his.
Oh wow.
Yes.
That's like she did it to, and that dude did that? That's crazy.
Yep. So we got the clip. We're gonna let her explain her side of it, and then we're gonna talk about what she says.
All right, cool. She did it to, and that dude did that? That's crazy.
Yep. So we got the clip. We're gonna let her. That was the wrong thing. Hold on. Explain her side of it, and then we're gonna talk about. I was playing Us Back. Little things that just that happen. As you go through the process.
Didn't you do this before?
Probably. I'm sure I did. Soon we'll have an audio guy.
Yeah, right.
And we'll just be on a better platform other than what we're currently utilizing, and it'll work out different. All right. Here we go. This should be much better. There we go. All right.
Okay.
Let's try to be chill about it. To be fair, this is like a kid. When you're that young, you make mistakes. You do dumb shit. I'm like trying to be super fair. You do dumb shit. You say dumb shit. You fucking fuck up relationships with people. You make mistakes. But the fact that this person that Noah did that, like went and posted a private conversation between me and him, is so unbelievably like socially unaware and whack. And like, you know what I mean? Like that's like borderline snake shit. Like that's like weasel shit. And like, I'm not saying that encapsulates his entire personality. Like Noah is not like the definition. I wouldn't imagine he is. Maybe he is. Like maybe he isn't like a whole snake. That's what I didn't see him that way. I made an assumption that he was going to be like chill about it, and he went and like shared information that I didn't feel comfortable with him sharing. And then I understand the other people are going to like roll their eyes and be like, "Oh, please, like you just tweeted that he's fine." which is like okay, but like the intention behind it, it's like I'm going to tweet some shit that's going to get a reaction because it's a meme and it's dumb, and like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, he's attractive and I'm attracted to him, but I hate the idea of like, when you make the choice to message somebody, hey, like, blah, 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 but this is private. Like, I didn't tell him that. I didn't tell him not to post it because you don't expect people to do that because it's not normal to do that. It's like, it's literally not cool and it's not normal. Yeah, Noah Schnapp. It's like exploitative behavior and it's embarrassing.
As you should be embarrassed. But here's the funny thing with young people, right? Because she's 26. I just Googled it, right? I say to myself, why? Why are we trusting the internet in that way? And that's the thing that I think, you know, especially young people who have sort of grown up and have been raised in this age, they view this as such a real thing. Where somebody older would take it and be like, I would never do that if I'm not, you know, like, why would I put myself out there? Why would I DM this person on some sort of social media platform? You know what I'm saying? There has to be, you know, has to be better moves than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just that, like, that is such a big part of our society and our culture where this type of behavior is happening among our young people.
Yeah.
And they continue to get embarrassed, as she said it.
Yeah, I mean, like first of all, like nothing really happened. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing happened. Like, okay, all right, this dude shared a text that you asked about another person, and he shared it. Hey, good for you, bro. I mean, like,
technically she has a boyfriend, so I guess maybe that's the other.
I mean, like, whatever. Then you stuck. I mean, that's just like, all right, cool. I hope you're happy now, bro. You know what I'm saying? I hope you're happy. You made my life difficult. You know what I'm saying? So thank you. And it's my fault for being so stupid to put that out there because obviously that's what I wanted anyway. You know what I'm saying? If I asked about him. So just accept your truth, man. Look, first principle, positive one. You put it out there. That's how you really felt. And he just decided to tell people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want it out, don't say it.
Right.
Like, but or go about it another way so they can't put you on blast for saying certain things. I mean, this is a nothing conversation right now. I mean, and she's really dramatizing the whole thing, and that's what I'm like kind of I'm kind of egged about. I'm like, she's just dramatizing, like putting your personal information and just sharing it online because I thought he was a friend, you know, like, man, like, whatever, bro. All right, you did what you did. I see how you are now. Thank you. You did me a favor.
Yep.
You know, like, I mean, we take things way too seriously that's online now. You know, it's like, all right, cool. You put that online. Okay, people see that about me. First of all, like, if it's gossip stuff, I don't even care about it anyway.
Yeah.
But I mean, the computers have gotten so control of our mind, and people's opinions have gotten so control of our minds that we have this distorted idea of what's important and what's not important.
And zero, like, she exhibits in this whole thing zero self-accountability.
None.
Like, she called him socially unaware. And I'm thinking to myself, so what does that make you? Like, where's your accountability for yourself? You're worried about his social awareness or unawareness. And where is yours, where you basically handed him power? You know, and that's the one thing that, you know, young people gotta understand is like, you hand somebody power. So you hand somebody the power over you, and then you immediately go to victim when they abuse it.
Yeah.
It's like, duh, you gave it to them.
You gave it to them. Yes, you gave them the power.
And that's why they don't learn from it, because what they say is, well, this person wronged me. He's socially unaware. He did some snake-ish. So it's him. No, it's you. Because to your point, you had this feeling towards this person and you decided to go through another person to pursue it. Your fault.
Yep.
You played the wrong game.
If you really wanted to, you would have went directly to that person.
Right.
Instead of go through.
Right.
Why does it gotta be a middleman for somebody that you like?
Exactly. I mean, this says nothing to me really about Noah Schnapp as much as it says to me about Doja Cat.
Yeah, right.
You know, because again, to her point, he's a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you gave this whole explanation of him being a kid, but then you still played the victim.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's like somebody getting mad at a baby for spilling baby food on their dress.
Right. It's like you gotta expect people to be true to who they are. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, like think about it. She won the Grammy, so she know people, right? So she should know the whole social order anyway about what goes on, what to do and what not to do. Like every move you make, everything you say is going to be ridiculed and etc. And you just gonna be loose with it like that. Come on, man. And then play the victim role, like whatever. Like this, like the whole conversation was nothing. I mean, the whole thing is a nothing burger to me, simply because of the fact we talking about what somebody said and my feelings is hurt. Like we so soft now. It's ridiculous. It's not the fact that we have mental health issues, that we have mental strength issues. You know what I mean? Like we don't know how to do anything because we keep expecting things to get easier. I think I saw on the internet the other day, this Coach Duke talked about it. She said that, you know, stop thinking that if I get past the summer, then it's gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? Or I get to the fall, it's gonna be easy. Like, no, you need to learn how to do it hard so you get good at doing it hard.
Facts.
And it just makes it look easy to the outside eye.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like we become our first cop out is to try to put off the blame so we can play the victim, so we'll have to deal with none of that accountability stuff, man. Yeah. And it's in all areas, yo, and all areas and spaces. Like soon as somebody says the truth or something that's really real, everyone scatters and gets all emotional about, oh, I can't believe blah blah. You said that. Like, man, get out of here, bro. Like, but it's supposed to be a free country, but you want to condemn me. And that's what she tried to do to him. She tried to shame him on social media with her power.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and people, and it's like, as a society, it's like we want, and this is, you know, a lot of people won't really allow themselves to understand what I'm about to say, but it's like we want to support the victim. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why I make that statement is because so many people make themselves the victim versus actually being one.
Yeah, exactly.
So people play into that because they know that society wants to always jump behind the victim. You know what I mean? And so the moment I play the victim, now I'm protected. That's my shield. Yep. Once I say victim, now I got the shield up. No, you can't. Because now I could give you all kinds of things of why I'm a victim. I could bring in mental illness, and I could bring in being womanized, and I could bring in, my sexuality, and I could bring in whatever, I could bring in my race, but once I am victim and I say that, then that's it. It's hands off.
Can't touch you no more.
No. And that's what, and society protects people in that way.
That's only for certain categories and certain genders.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like it only works in those spaces. It's never both sides in this space, or it's never like, we'll hold people accountable the same. Or, so when I look at anything like we saw.
Yeah, like a black man can't be a victim.
Nah.
Black man can't be a victim.
You had to deserve it some kind of way.
Right.
You had to deserve it some kind of way. So Like when I see stuff like we see, I see disconnection from what's really real and what really matters in life. You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing I see is that, because once you understand that you have no problems at that level, your problems are all created through your own actions. I mean, it's any level, but your problems are created some way vibrationally through what you have sent out a signal somehow that you shouldn't have been doing anyway because you had a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now let's not talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that he put the post out about me asking about his fine co-host or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? He put that out there. So he's fault. Meanwhile, it's like the girl that catches the boyfriend cheating and goes straight after the other girl. It's like, wait a minute. Your man was cheating. He wanted to do it. You know what I'm saying? There has to be some kind of accountability there. You know what I'm saying? But we deflect and know it couldn't have been that he was not me. It's because of her and she seduced him. Something he wasn't doing right, because happy men don't go cheating like that. You know what I'm saying? They only put themselves in the opportunity, in the space for that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can fall, but typically that happens. It wasn't the first time. So, but I'm just saying, like, it's something that is a nothing. She don't have no problems. Like, and if it's not a real problem, I'm not concerned. And I'm just hearing you crying, like, just deal with your stuff, man. Because, like I say, you stop being soft. This is we talking about internet stuff. It's not real world.
Right. Yeah. And again, you have to have a certain appeal in order to be this. So yeah, This is one of those things. But I just think hopefully young people begin to understand that the internet is only your friend if you approach it as business.
Yeah.
And then it's really not your friend, it's a business associate. It's a tool. It's something that you use.
Look,
you don't rely on it as this safe, secure thing where you can share your innermost secrets.
Is that the like the story? Sorry, the story that's like on the internet now.
What's that?
Like, is that the story we're talking about right now? Is that like?
Oh, yeah, it's trending.
Wow. Oh, we ain't got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and again, everything comes down to circles, right? But pop culture, which drives so much of it, but this type of stuff is salacious too, like because this is what they're doing. Like that's why I brought it up, is because this is what young people are doing. Like this is real to her.
Yes, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? This is real to her.
We're seeing this now as real. Like and these people that's real, they're adults now.
Oh yeah.
So it's not a kid thing anymore.
And when you think about it, Doja Cat's rich.
These are rich adults. That's what I'm saying. Like,
she's rich. So it's like you really have acts like, and here's the thing though. So yeah, she's rich. She probably does okay. She's probably living comfortably right now, right? But this also reminds you that, like, when we put these superstars on this pedestal, this is a prime example that they have no power.
None. Zero.
Because if she had any type of juice, there's no way she would have had to do this.
Nah. Bro, they're all employees, bro.
Yeah. If she had any power, he would have been meeting her somewhere at a hotel.
True.
At an undisclosed location.
Oh, you talking about? Oh yeah, very true. Yeah, like
I'm saying, like, it tells you no power.
Somebody would have had somebody see them about that, and then would have got back that way. Yeah.
Yeah, like every time these things happen, it has to just remind us, like, stop putting these people on a pedestal.
Bruh.
They're just really good at what they do, just like you're good at what you do, whatever that is.
All of these cats that been on the pedestal now, that's in our era, you know what I'm saying? All these cats, ain't even your era, to back to like, you know, because your hip hop history is a little deeper than mine. Like all of these cats that was hot in the late 80s, early 90s, and stuff like that, you know, like all of them are doing something else because the industry is not made for that type of hype for your entire career. Even Jay-Z, like people don't know him, like through our era.
Right.
So like it's like they're only
You can mess around and go to an IHOP in Raleigh and run into Big Daddy Kane.
right. Exactly. And he was like larger than life back then, right? So if and that was only 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 35 years ago, maybe mid 80s. So
he would have every female in that IHOP going bananas. Now he walked in, none of them know who he is.
But the thing is, because he had the machine behind him.
Yep.
And that machine creates a distorted reality of who these people really are. Yeah. You know, like so you see something like so simple as a tweet go out like that, and it's just like, oh, like that's so simple, and now she's reacting to it. So it's like, damn, you exposed now. Because that matters to you and to somebody in the real world. It's like, bro, we talk about a tweet, man. You know, like that. What do you think her label's thinking? They don't care about a tweet. They're like, deal with it. You know, I don't like be more careful.
Somebody should have told her ignore him.
Yeah, I don't know who's the PR people. Like, yo, you are who you are. Who's gonna believe him anyway? They can make up fake screenshots, all kind of stuff now. You know, like just let it go. You gave validity to it. You gave it life.
Then you're right, and you admitted to people you attracted to the dude.
Right.
So it's like, and here's the other thing with young people. It's like they like incriminating themselves. Young people today just like, like I don't understand any of y'all can trust each other to do a crime. Cause if y'all not putting it on the internet, telling your business on the internet, telling whoever will listen, like I don't want to hear this no snitching. Y'all, it's like normal to snitch. Like people snitch without even trying is so normal.
Without even trying, man. And like I said, it's to the point we've gotten so abstract with reality now. And it just keeps getting further and further from the truth of what really is. I mean, this is a very simple deal. You know what? You put this on the internet. I'm first accountability. You know what I'm saying? Got to set what happened there. I'm the only reason that happened. Why? Because it came out of my fingers on my page to his page. If that never happens, we never talking about this. You can't blame him for that. We never talking about it. So, like, it all goes down to accountability on what your actions were. You can't control nobody outside yourself.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's interesting to see what's going on, man.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Because we have to know. We have younger children.
True. And then
so we need to know exactly what to expect and when to expect it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's always good to be made aware of,
and
types of things.
That's something that I'm looking at since we just had this conversation, because I really would look at it as like it's a nothing burger, but it really is something in there in the dimension that they live in.
Yeah.
The same way, which is unfortunate. They're born in this environment of things like that calling those things that matter, because that can only lead you astray to a mental illness. It can only lead you that way because you're living a false reality.
Yeah, absolutely. So another topic, something that I found to be interesting, was a few weeks back, Lupe Fiasco did an interview on Hot 97 in New York. Ebro in the morning. And, he was just talking about a lot of things that he's doing. And Lupe Fiasco, every time I listen to him, and whether it be an interview or even some of his music, you could just tell he's just very, very broad, and his thinking goes in a lot of different directions.
Okay.
And he was just talking about how he got into artistry and art and fine art and different things like that. And he made a comment about, and I'm generalizing because we're gonna play the audio so everybody can actually hear what he said. That hip hop in essence doesn't care about things like fine art. And again, fine art is not just paintings. It's also, music, poetry, all these things that are original. And he talked about that. And I just thought that was interesting. So I'm gonna play the clip, and then we'll have a little just conversation, really just in general about hip hop and what's it all about.
It's good because the things that I'm doing outside of everything is like I couldn't, niggas wouldn't even appreciate shit. Right. Niggas wouldn't appreciate it. And so it's like, all right, why even bother? Like, you can just, that's just yours. Hold that, tell them about it in 40 years. And they're like, yo, he was really in there doing, like, why all these white people fuck with him like that? Like, why always? Oh yeah, because he was really doing it. I just thought he was tap dancing and spitting raps. Like, this dude was actually putting in culture work. Anyway, Dribbling Design, June 24th, Friday.
I think people want to hear that, though. I think people love seeing a intelligent person from hip hop. They do doing things that are creative, artistic, ownership.
They do, just not in hip hop.
I think not on social media.
Yeah, hip hop, social media. But then there is social media that's not hip hop. Like, there's a whole facet of folks with genuine interest, but I think hip hop don't care about none of that shit.
I don't know.
Listen, you don't know, so you just expose your piece. I know.
Well, no, this is what I was going to say. I don't know about, like, obviously mainstream and the greater kind of, what controls the headlines. But in my world, the reason that you're sitting here and the reason that we continue to have conversations about the many projects that you put out that I love, whether it be here or at Apple Music, is because I know there is a segment that I try to speak to of people that want some intelligent conversation, and to know that,
I'm not saying I want intelligent conversation. Hip hop's very intelligent.
Yeah.
It's intelligent on certain subjects. It's emotionally intelligent. It's intelligent in different capacities. That doesn't mean hip hop is interested in fine art. It's trying, but it's not, right? And even when it does try to speak for it, niggas be like, nah. Like whenever like Virgil, rest in peace, was a hip hop designer, niggas got out their body. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, dude's he's one of the most lauded individuals in the world.
Yeah. When you said people was upset.
Yeah. Niggas was like, man, he's not no hip hop designer. He an everybody designer.
Did you see that, Laura? I never saw that.
Yeah, I
didn't see that.
Because you don't know.
Interesting. So, I thought when I heard that interview, I thought it was pretty interesting, what he talked about and all the things that he discussed in it. In particular, his take on, what hip hop is actually into, and, kind of how I read into it is really about originality, and that's kind of how I took it. So after I listened to it, I was like, because when you think about it, sometimes when you think about the finer things in art, it's like, well, there's your graffiti and all these things like that, but I don't think that's really where he was going with it. How I took it more was he was talking about and referring to originality. Is there any originality in hip hop? Is hip hop into, that high level creativity and creating on such a high level and diversity and doing diverse things, you know, or is hip hop one track minded?
I mean, hip hop is diverse, but what sells on hip hop is not that diverse. You know, so like I think one time, I think what 50 Cent said about Jay-Z's 444 album, you know, it was too smart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Said, you know, you got to spoon feed the people as the masses because, you know, he said it was too smart, you know? And a lot of times, if you're not with it, you won't get what they're trying to say. But once you know how the masses think, and like they have plenty of numbers on how the masses think and what they want, like we would never be doing any of this drama stuff if it didn't sell. They would never promote this stuff if it didn't sell. So they know hip hop, its market is violence and gang banging. You know, as soon as somebody dies, they are absolute gold mine. After that, like all of these things, and they're dying young. So like we in the industry, that sells.
Yeah.
That's the first thing we talk about. Like it's the drama. And because we are a culture that has been, you know, exploited beyond. I mean, things that, you know, I'm still finding out daily, you know, that we've been exploited from. So this is another exploitation of us in our journey of just, you know, unknowingness. You know, when I don't think that hip hop is not diverse. I think that they shine the light in the drama space, and that's all we look at a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And therefore, because of that longevity of time we've been doing it, we have become to think this is the only thing that it can be. But there are other things outside and people who speak in of different, like, you know, things, not just, you know, whatever the day in music is, but like I said, the kids are the people who pay attention to it most. They're the most influenced by it. So they only are going to go toward what, you know, the crowd is going toward for the most part.
Yeah. And see, you know, I really hope in the near future hip hop begins to broaden.
It's changing
because it's so important to young people, you know, and as it should be, because it was important to me. But I want to see it broaden, especially, you know, it's already really, you know, at a place where, you know, we're seeing more and more, you know, white rappers who are, you know, doing really well and really skilled. So it's already, you know, sort of broadened in that way from a race perspective. You know, I'd really like to see it broaden more from a content, from a, you know, what it's involved in, and what it ties itself to. See it broaden from that perspective, and see a lot more rappers who, you know, speak more from a conscious mindset, you know. Because even if, you know, you think about the, you know, even like a J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? He has a very rugged, raw, rough delivery, but his music is extremely conscious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I almost think of him as more of a conscious rapper than I do of anything else. You know what I'm saying? If I was going to put him in a box.
But they're going to get, we're going to get one. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get one that they allow to be that light to shine on, because you got to have inspiration for the next one that they'll let have. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you know, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, those are two, you know, that are fairly popular rappers. But the thing is, like, they're in their 30s now, right? Or late 30s, mid to late 30s now.
Right.
And like, remember, Jay-Z's 50, and he's irrelevant.
Right.
Crowd. I think I saw on YouTube the other day where somebody was some kids were like 20 somethings were dissecting ether for the first time. I had to look up what ether was. Like, yo, what's up? What's ether? What's ether?
Mm.
Like, all of these things, like, once you get to, it's like they know the window. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is what he's going to be good for to this market that we have studied for years and years and years. That is all. You know what I mean? So it's like we keep getting fooled by, like we said, these people, just like we was talking about with the Doja, we keep getting fooled. Not that I know her. We keep getting fooled by what the industry pushes behind these people and thinking that they're this. And it doesn't matter who the person is. You can make up whatever and it will be trendy for a period of time. Mark, think about it, man. We was walking around with shirts 3 sizes too big for us.
Yep.
Hats that were 2 sizes too big, you know, and pants that were 2 sizes too big because somebody that was rapping did it in a video and we saw it. Now, most of those people are not even heard of right now anywhere in this industry. They might be doing other things now, but in this industry, Drake will fall off. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the industry. So, like, this we have to take power and control, like other artists I've seen. You know, there are artists out here doing, and it's slowly shifting, just like how the radio shifted. Right. Okay, radio used to dominate. Now, not so much. You know, they're trying to hang on to radio, and we have to shift this point in our message and what we talk about on the radio on our own platforms that we're able to put out there now. You know, now you can get your own market, and there's going to be a competing market in hip hop. I promise you, It has to be, because hip hop's been like, you know, it's all kinds of ways, but eventually we're gonna get tired of seeing people getting killed and that being the thing.
Facts. And that's really the shift that I can't wait for. Like, I can't wait for some cool nerdy kid to have a dope flow. That you can't deny it. Like, you literally just can't deny his flow. Like, his flow is just so dope. You just like, all right, well, whatever. He's dope, so he has to be allowed in.
If the conscious guy is that dope and he's the top of the game and all these, and there's more J. Cole and everybody keep rising, I guarantee we'll start seeing the culture shift.
Yeah,
that's the people that shine the light on.
Exactly.
That's it.
And really, and if you think about it, when we were in that era, when we were rocking the medallions and the Africa necklaces, you know what I mean, and we were all, you know, everything was about Black Power. There was a shift that was starting.
Yeah.
And then they saw that coming and were like, oh no.
Yeah.
I can't. The name of the group is escaping me, but they had that song where they were like, "There's the key, sissy." What is the name of that group? But they were like super conscious, and they really, you know, they were part of that culture where, you know, they were wearing a lot of the African colors and the kufis and the, you know, the different garb and different ways of dressing, you know. But then when that music got popular, because people were really digging it and feeling it, you know what I'm saying? They were like, nah, we got to push more of this gangster stuff.
Is that the group that made like Everyday People?
No, not them, but they were pretty good too.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of that group. Dang it. But yeah, you know, you had a lot more diversity at one point, because, you know, you had your Kwame's and, you know, you had your conscious guys and you had your MC Hammers and, you know, but yet you still had your Eric B and your Rakim and your Cool G Rap, you know, and then obviously you had your NWAs, you know what I'm saying, and that type of flavor. So, you know, you had that diversity, and it just to me, it really stinks that it became very one lane.
Yep.
And only one lane really got airplay and one lane mattered, because now it's like what they started to do, and this is really how they got people, is they started to mix the gangster rap with R&B.
Yep.
And that's when it really just took over your mind on this is what rap is. Because now, okay, it's with the R&B song.
It can be everything now.
Yeah.
Like Diddy started really into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Diddy makes that a lot into that. I mean, obviously he's not the only one, but I just remember him because he was running everything right about that time. You know what I mean? But I mean, it was dope though, and it made it very easy for the ear and listening. And then it just, melodies take our ear, and it ingrains in us. So music is a very powerful thing. But I mean, like, yeah, but like I expect them to do that though, and people don't know that controls them like that, but I expect that to happen. And the only way, like I said, now since media has been like individualized more and people have more preference on what the music they listen to and all those things, like you can start to see the pendulum swinging back toward the individuals and the individuality of the mind and choice of types of music. It can go good or bad, but the pot of consciousness, because of everything that's going on, I believe is going to swing it back this way.
Yeah. And I just got a text. It's X Clan. X Clan is the name of that group.
Okay, no.
But yeah, and X Clan was, they were fire. But yeah, I mean, the conscious rap. I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's support it. Let's get some of this shift, because a lot of people just don't understand that we understand, all too well, is our young kids, we can say whatever we want, they get impacted by it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole fact. We could try to find different ways to blame it. It's not, they get impacted by it.
We created it.
Yeah.
They were born into it. And it's like that reality now, those kids are becoming adults.
Yeah.
The internet, like people who were born into the internet are becoming adults now. And their reality is the internet.
Yeah.
It's like
and oftentimes so much of hip hop music and really hip hop lyric.
Yeah.
It perpetuates Black hate.
Yeah.
And that's just the reality of it. Yeah. So it makes it okay. It normalizes it in a young person's mind. And that's really what we just, we all have to take into consideration, especially now, since, like you said before, the music industry has changed. So people have more control.
Yeah.
They're more control over what's out there. And, it's just so funny. You talk about all of these corporations, who all have all of these movements towards, helping Black people. Well, if I worked at a record label and they came and they talked about that, I'd be like, well, change the music you put out.
Right.
Start there.
Like,
you want to help?
You have a bunch of gangster drug dealers on your label, bro.
Right. Like stop pushing all of that and start pushing more of this positivity.
You're telling me
you got it.
You're telling me the only talented rappers are the ones that talk about drugs and shoot people?
Exactly.
They're the only people that's talented in this world. If nobody that doesn't do that are not talented, you can't market. That's what I'm saying. It's like not meant for that, yo. It doesn't make money, so they're not doing. They can do like with money you can do anything in the world, yo. Yep. Anything you want to, if you got dough. You can choose how you want to do it. The only thing is they choosing to make more money because they don't want to change this conscious reality, because what happens if they change this conscious reality? Eventually they'll be out of business.
Yeah.
Because they know for sure that if people see that I've been taking advantage of you for years and years and years and years and years and years, then they know that, well, we just starve you out because we don't need you. Yeah. Eventually that's where it's going. Like I said, radio stations are clamming to try to stay alive. Network TVs are clamming to try to stay alive. They're getting on YouTube all the time now and putting their clips there.
That's exactly where it is.
Yeah, so you know that they need the content.
Yeah.
Just not the content that will uplift people's mind and thought and vibration.
And most people are just gonna allow this to happen because nobody wants to screw up the bag, and everybody's gonna take the bag, no matter who's at stake. And with that being said, as we kind of wrap this conversation up, and tonight we are not doing the game, so we'll put the game on pause till the crew is back. But we'll jump right into our feature on the P1 Reality Check. On every episode, we highlight a individual, event, individual and event in Black history that was important to Black history, that was relative, even culturally. And tonight, when you think about somebody who stood tall on their principles and stood tall for what they believed, and never cowered regardless of what was popular or can make them look good, this person always stood up no matter what. And that gentleman is none other than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Man, right.
Much respect for him. So I'm gonna read a little bit of a bio about him, and I just took this, no research, no nothing like that. Just took this straight from Wikipedia. So I'm just gonna read his bio because I think a lot of people forget, and I'm gonna start off with his business acumen. So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is an American former professional basketball player who played 20 seasons in the National Basketball Association for the Milwaukee Bucks and Los Angeles Lakers. During his career as a center, Abdul-Jabbar was a record 6-time NBA Most Valuable Player, record 19-time NBA All-Star. Now, let's rewind. Played 20 seasons.
19 All-Stars.
19 All-Stars.
That's ridiculous.
To make sure people heard that. That means his entire career is an All-Star.
That's crazy. He probably was hurt the 1 year. Had to be.
Right. He was, or it's like his final year.
Yeah, maybe his last year. Yeah.
But a 15-time All-NBA team member and an 11-time NBA All-Defensive Team member. He was a member of 6 NBA championship teams as a player and 2 more as an assistant coach, and was twice voted NBA Finals MVP. He was named to 3 NBA anniversary teams, widely regarded as one of the greatest players of all time, often named the top 3 player in NBA history. He was called the greatest of all time by Pat Riley, Isaiah Thomas, Dr. J. And, another part of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was not only his ability on the basketball court, but he was also known as a very intelligent person, a thinker, a writer. And he became a best-selling author and cultural critic. He published several books, mostly on African American history. His first book, his autobiography, Giant Steps, was written in 1983. Other books include On the Shoulders of Giants, My Journey Through the Harlem Renaissance, Brothers in Arms, the epic story of the 761st Tank Battalion, World War II's Forgotten Heroes, which is a history of the first Black armored unit to fight in World War II. So, and again, we've seen the imagery and the photos of, the picture that he took alongside, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, and all those things, and standing up for activism and him talking. But, I just think he's just really an amazing Black man. To me, at the end of the day, it's just so fascinating that he could be such a superb athlete and simultaneously be a scholar and a critical thinker and a creative person and a writer, and just have all those talents at a high level for one individual, to me, is just fascinating and amazing.
Yeah.
And that's why I just thought it was important to talk about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I think that he does that. I mean, and the only thing I see is and understand is that, he created his own narrative. You know what I mean? Like, nobody talks bad about him. I'm sure they did back when he was hanging out with Jim Brown and Muhammad Ali, et cetera, being an activist, et cetera. But that's just things when you stay true to who you are and don't move, they can't say anything about you bad in the long term because he just stayed true to who he was and didn't go for the gimmicks or whatever might have been there. You never heard him off any just some like crazy drama stuff because he always was away from it.
Mm-hmm.
And like if you get in the media and media can take over your narrative, period. And he just never went to it. He's still wealthy. He has all what he needs. That's just the person that I see. He had what they say now. He understood the assignment.
Yeah.
I was there to play basketball. I was not there to smooze and let you in all into my personal life and things that I do. This is what I was doing to play basketball. You ask me questions, I answer it. If I feel strongly about something, I do that. I write a book here. He made his own environment. He wasn't out here trying to impress anybody. He was just doing him. So that does, and he was like one of the best players, which is the only reason why we know about him anyway. Right. But I'm sure there's plenty of people that are doing the same type of thing that he is that don't get highlighted because why? He entertained a lot of people.
Yep.
And because he was an entertainer, he got a lot of great publicity only during that short period of time, right? But I just look at if America and people really loved him like that and really got down with him, then he would have more influence. But reason why is the same reason why there's no conscious rap music.
Yeah.
Craze.
Exactly.
He never heard. This is the 80s now. I never seen that movie Wintertime, so I don't know how much he was involved in all the women and stuff like that. But it was the 80s, so I'm sure he did his thing too, probably. But the point is,
they don't really depict him like that.
No, they don't. Oh, okay, but
he had a woman the whole time.
But you'll never hear him. You'll never hear nothing. He was around that.
Yeah.
You'll never hear nothing about him because he on another level as far as when you that talented, he been that way his whole life, right? So those types of things, I guess, when you have that moral ground and an idea of who yourself is, you hold yourself to the highest standard,
Yeah.
Barack Obama, same people, no scandals ever.
Mm-mm.
Just consistency in what they do.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's and it's funny because when you think about media, there's a story, I guess one time he was doing it. I think he was doing an interview or sat down for an interview, and the person interviewing him or the group of people were upset because he read the paper the whole time and he didn't stop for them. Just that mindset of hey, this, I understand who I am here, and I understand that you're here for me. And I understand whatever I say is going to help you. But in this moment, I don't have to, you need me,
mm-hmm.
But that type of strength, I think, I think examples like that, especially because Black people are always portrayed as being weak, that type of strength where you're not, it's not like you're trying to fight and yell and scream and argue,
mm-hmm.
but it's just you're being adamant on your beliefs and what you believe. And you're just not allowing, like you said, not allowing anybody to make you waver. But when you're able to exhibit that kind of strength, especially in that day and age, when you think about it, in the 70s and 80s, where we still didn't, we ain't have nothing then,
Yeah.
Again, I remember, coming up in New Jersey. I mean, that was just not far removed. That's around the time of the Newark riots.
I mean, like, yeah, exactly.
That was going on then. So, I mean, Martin Luther King was assassinated, what, 1968?
Yeah, exactly. So it's not that far off. That's what I'm saying.
So, when you're able to exhibit that type of strength as a Black man, where you can kind of resist the system, but do it in a way that demonstrates your thoughtfulness and how when somebody's a thinker and they're playing chess,
mm-hmm.
It's hard to just knock them off the block.
Yeah.
Because you got to now play chess.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't just see an open lane and think you're going to jump.
Yeah.
2 of their pieces and 1 of their queens.
Mm-hmm.
That's not happening when they're playing chess.
Come pick you off easy.
Yeah, because you can't just move on the board that way. You
Yeah.
got to be more strategic. So when somebody's a thinker, you got to approach them in a strategic way. So that's why, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man, he's a dope cat.
Yeah, I mean, like everything we talked about with him. I mean, only thing I see is solid all the way through, as far as his just how he stood on the same rock he been on since I've known about him. Even when he was a player, when I didn't know anything as a kid, and watched him, he just see his energy just radiating. You know what? Like I'm solid.
Yeah.
I mean, to be that big, I guess you got to stand on something.
Yep. People better stop playing.
Yeah.
Keep him on that mount until somebody starts putting up Kareem Abdul-Jabbar numbers.
Yeah.
For a season, y'all better keep him on that Mount Rushmore. I don't know how he can come off.
And Will Chamberlain too, because Will Chamberlain, they changed the game.
Will Chamberlain really gets no respect.
None.
Respect. Like Kareem gets way more respect than Will Chamberlain.
I guess Will Chamberlain won only 1 championship or something like that.
Yeah.
But he was like, I mean, they like stopped dunking because of him or something like that. I
mean, anybody who changes the game, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
like
that's why like you're gonna have to put Steph on.
Yes, you got to, man.
Unless somebody comes along in like the next 5 years and just does exactly what he does to a whole nother level.
Man,
outside of that, you're gonna have to, because he literally changed the game.
Steph eliminated the big man.
Yes,
and the power forward.
Yep.
Dale Davises, the Anthony Masons, the Charles Oakleys will never be again, bro. Mm-hmm. He eliminated them. Like people shooting 40-something% for 3-pointer, you win it.
Yeah.
You got 2 of them on one team. That's whew, you're doing pretty well.
Yeah. You no longer get credit for being the dude who probably could have played football. It's gonna be like, nah, bro, stay with football because you got nothing going on here on the basketball court.
Yeah, dudes took over, man.
Jokers don't care that you're strong and you could just post up and you could back people down and you're a monster on the boards.
If you
can't shoot, you're nothing.
Wish McCall had no place out here no more. Dennis Rodman's and Ben Wallace's, like that the specialists. You gotta be able to do at least. You gotta be a spot and shoot guy. You know what I'm saying? At least if you're gonna be on the floor, you can't waste that energy.
Charles Barkley today would be average.
Yeah,
he would be average.
You think so?
Well, think what skill set? What skill set did he have?
Well, I mean, I think
that would allow him to be dominant today.
Are we dropping him down into this space? Out of
today, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah. If we're
today, Charles Barkley would be average today.
If we just drop it
today, same skill set.
Yeah.
Right. You just dropped him in. He would be, and really, it's not so much about Charles Barkley as it is the skill set, right?
I don't know.
That type of player.
I don't know, because Charles Barkley, he could shoot, but the thing is, like, all the banging, there would be fouls now.
He started to shoot more as he got older because
in his Phoenix career,
he's a better shooter maybe in Phoenix.
That's what I'm saying. His Phoenix career. I'm not talking about 76. His Phoenix career, he would lighten up. That he was shooting. He was a shooter. I mean, I ain't saying he shot over 40-something% for three, but he was a high 30-something% 3-point shooter. But like I said, they didn't shoot threes at the rate. Now, yes, if you drop them down in there, and they got their own game, that's what it is. But just think about it. LeBron, he evolved with the game when he was in it because Kobe evolved with the game when he was in. He was much better 3-point shooters. LeBron was much better 3-point shooter. He shot way more just in this time period. Now, if they was there and they was in the same period, they would evolve their games too. And I believe athletically, they could definitely match up with what they're doing, what the players are here today. But it's just like dropping people down in eras to me and saying that is kind of tough, just because of the fact.
And again, that's why I made the sort of I talked about the skill set. Like,
yeah,
you can't just be because Charles Barkley, especially in his prime when he was young.
Yeah.
Again, guys were driving to the basket a whole lot more, and that was the game, right?
And it was getting hit.
So that type of player, like if somebody comes along and they're like, they would really have to. They'd have to like razzle dazzle. Plus everything is like zone.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like they would. It's tough. It's tough to understand. You can't, like Michael Jordan said, you can't compare the games. But I do understand, if that skill set, yes, the skill set of our generation basketball has no place in this generation basketball. We was Jordan back to the basket, fadeaway jump shot. You know what I'm saying?
Saying all that to say that's how the game is literally been changed by guys like Steph Curry, because to your point, you make that position obsolete. So someone like a Charles Barkley or someone like that who played that position, now at best they're average today because
he'd be a good player. He'd be a good player.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Average. I mean, average
might not be an all-star.
Average NBA player is a good player.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm just saying, like, he could have been like borderline. Like, he could be a better than a Draymond Green. I'd say that. Because Charles Barkley passed rock. You gotta watch some tape on him.
Well, I don't know about that, because I almost think, and I really think Draymond Green's game seems to have diminished. I don't know if his game has diminished.
It has. I mean,
or he's being exposed. I don't know. I'm confused on what's going on.
Draymond got 2 more years max. 1 year of
but that's what I think Charles Barkley would be. I think he would be what Draymond is right now.
Yeah, well,
so I could think he could find a role, but I don't think he.
No, I think he would be a good player. He'd be a great contribution, better than a role player, I think. But I mean, it's just different, But one thing for sure is, like, Kareem would be good on any era, though. You know what I'm saying? Because he could shoot the sky hook. That's the unstoppable shot. So anytime you get it to him, he could do it. And that's something that nobody's ever been able to stop. He did it at a very high rate, to the point where he's number 1 scorer in the league still.
The only thing he'd have to worry about are guards coming to swipe at the ball, but I mean, because in essence, that's like a mid-range jump shot.
Yeah,
that's like an in the paint jump shot.
But he could do it all around that. I mean, he was good from 18 feet. You know what I'm saying? With his sky hook.
Yeah, so that's where he gets that advantage.
Yeah, I mean, and nobody blocking it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he's the only one that could perfect Shaq. He had a little baby hook, but he wasn't doing this right here the whole time, So
and it comes down to accuracy too, right? Yeah. Like you got to be making them at a.
And he did. He shot, I'm sure, 50-something% for his career. So I mean, it's like what you say, man. Every era has this thing, but yes, I mean, I think that football, like, now these cats is like way faster. You know what I'm saying? But like with it's physical. The physical part of it wouldn't be the problem at all. But it's just like the fast and the bigger their sizes and stuff are just like, when I was in college,
defensive lineman like 235. 240.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like when I was in college, even only 20 years ago, bro. Like when I was in college, maybe 20% of not maybe have one 300-pounder lineman, one. You know what I mean? But now probably all of them are 280, 300, everywhere across the board. And that's at University of Richmond. And if you're at a big time D1 school, everybody's that way, and athletic. So I mean, like, yes, football probably could compete. They're just like they bigger and stronger, but basketball is just a different sport because you can't touch people now.
Can't at all.
Yeah.
It's not the physical game it once was.
That's dope. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, man. He don't get no love. Man. All right, man. Let's see.
Yes.
Quarter of the day here.
Quote of the day.
Let's see here. I think here. Okay. To gain peace of mind, you must be able to release control of what you think you have control over. I repeat that. To gain peace of mind, you must be able to release control of what you think you have control over. So, I let it go, man. Yeah, let things go. Oh. It's like the whole internet thing we talked about today. Yeah, let it go. Stuff not that serious.
Not that serious.
5, 10 years down the road, you can be like, ask yourself, like, man, why was I tripping about those things?
Right.
So let them go, man.
Yes, sir.
But that episode, that's 29, 28.
Yeah, man.
Right.
We cooking. But yeah, in the words of Dominique, like, subscribe, tell your aunts, tell your cousins.
All of that.
Friend, all that. Tell a friend, everybody. P1 Reality Check. We in full effect. Next time you come check us out, bring a friend.